MiniWarGaming rules you got wrong.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Rules You Got Wrong, Warhammer Age of Sigmar Edition, War of the Realms. We're going to go over some comments and questions regarding the rules in our game, the last week games, which I think Josh and I played, and actually you and
the first one was Dave White and I. So that is Flesh Eater Courts versus Dispossessed, War of the Realms, episode 63. First comment is from Zachary. At 25:15, the two remaining warriors should have re-rolled the 1 to wound because it was Josh's turn. Yes, dwarf warriors do have that. In the opponent's turn.
Josh is wrong once.
No, this is David's army. I was playing Flesh Eater Courts.
Dave was wrong once. Let's put the remote down, not hitting you.
I assume he's going to take a swing at me. Did the Rune Lord ever roll for his extra rend ability? Yes. This is from Blight02. So yeah, did the Rune Lord ever roll for his extra rend ability? He did. Only works on a 3-up. Nope, works on a 2-up. So we did roll for it, and it's on a 2-up.
Oh.
Blight02. Man, he forgets about the 6+ save on only his general. I think you're referencing my Ghoul King. The way I'm reading it, guys, I don't think he gives it to himself.
So I'm going to jump in here because I actually read it differently. I'm not saying Josh is wrong, because he definitely has a very good case for it.
Yeah, the way the whole thing talks about, the warriors and
After going back and forth over the rule a couple times, I think Josh is more likely to be right than myself and both you, Blight02.
Yep.
However, I can't say for sure one way or another. So until we get a better answer, we're going with the characters don't get it unless they're within another character's bubble. Make sense?
Yeah. We've got Blight02. My only issue with this report is that they never measure before they move, and it always looks like the distances are off. I just put this one in here. The way that we typically will do it is we'll just pre-measure, especially when it comes to a lot of models like that. It's clunky and it doesn't look good on camera showing us trying to measure. And even if we do try to show it, the camera angles usually don't show it off that well anyways. So nope, we just pre-measure everything and we know where we're going.
There's a couple ways to do it, just so you guys know. Like, there's a lot of marks on the mats we use. We just we measure and then it's gonna stop at this mark. Or what we both like to do a lot is we measure how far the charge is gonna be.
Yep. And
just we know it's gonna be 8-inch charge. Just keep it smooth because you see our hands blocking the camera most of the time with the measuring tape.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. We try to do as accurate as we can and still film it for you guys. But you're right, we can work on it. We can definitely try better.
And then he said, otherwise, very happy to see Age of Sigmar. Terrain's also great, so thanks for that, man. Next up, we got John Smith. Great bat rep, though he shouldn't have gotten the rerolls and the two-handed weapons because they didn't have shields to do the shield wall. If you have two-handed weapons, you definitely can take shields. I don't think he had 100% of them modeled on all of them, but a little bit of leeway on that, guys. It's no extra points to take shields. That you never run them without shields. So that's that. With a lot of the Age of Sigmar stuff, too, especially, I guess for our armies and the guest armies, a lot of us still play Warhammer Fantasy. So models that can be used in both systems. So that's how sometimes you're still seeing square bases or little minor things like that. So yeah, he said he had shields. There's no issue with that. There's no reason why you wouldn't take shields with them.
Well, you know what? This maybe doesn't really belong right here, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
Comment below. How much of what you see is what you get should we adhere to Age of Sigmar in your opinion? We've discussed it numerous ways. Everything should be modeled on the model. Mm-hmm. But when sometimes you have a unit that's identically equipped, but they're not identically equipped. Like a spearman champion who doesn't have a spear. Do we give him 2-inch reach? Well, he only has the option for a spear, so yes.
Yeah.
But what if he had the option for a sword as well? We generally say yes.
Yeah, so this is the talking point. So in this, you could take two-handed weapons and without shields or with shields. There's no difference in point costs.
Right.
And there's no advantage to not taking the shields.
Yep.
Now in Warhammer Fantasy, it makes sense that you might not want to pay for the shields. Right. So comment below. I'm kind of curious to see what people say, but that's how I'm in the
boat of, if you were to buy the box right now, open up and glue it that way, I'm okay with letting my opponent do it.
Yep.
Because like I said, like Josh said, we had him assembled one way for fantasy for whatever reason. Yep. But yeah, it's a tough one. So wait and let us know what you guys think, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do.
Yep. I don't feel like penalizing David White right now, anyways, for modeling for more than one system when he's willing to come in and play against us. So
true. I'll penalize him though, David.
That's why you don't play him very often. Next is Log Flogger. How comes you never use the Crypt Flayer ranged attacks? I forgot it every single turn. And it literally, as soon as I would move on to doing, like, we get into combat, and I'd forget it, and I'd yell at David, don't let me forget it again.
As we all do.
And then I'd forget it again. I did that, like, 4 turns in a row. I forget it every single time.
Happens, dude.
MC1 Gamer. Did you not use the terrain abilities for the Garden of Moor? You can certainly opt not to and leave it as a regular graveyard, but you note that it's a Garden of Moor. Some nice bonuses for the undead. My bad, I shouldn't have called it the Garden of Moor. We were just using it as a cool looking graveyard.
Yeah, we tend not to use terrain rules. They slowed the game down a little bit too much, and sometimes like that one would have given Josh an advantage.
Yep. It just looked cool, and I forgot that there was specific Garden of Moor rules.
Yeah, because if we use the rules for that, you would never see it in the table because, like if we put it down and if we play undead, it's almost like because we build the tables ourselves. It's like build the table for advantage.
You can speak for yourself. I'll table for advantage, model for advantage, all I can. I lost my spot. The Elf Kreslin. Why didn't you use his command trait to bring 10 ghouls on the board? It's not summoning, so they are actually free. That was talking about the Ghoul King. You're still setting up a whole new unit on the board. Yeah, they cost points, man.
Yep.
So
it's not just summoning that costs points.
Right. So the advantage of this command trait, because I know some people are going to say, well, that's dumb that he doesn't, because he could just summon on. You can't actually summon them if you're using the Flesh Eater Court rules.
Well, it's not even that. He doesn't have to roll. He can't fail.
Don't have to roll, and I get to set them up on any table edge I want.
Yeah.
So there's some huge advantages.
It's still a very, 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 very good ability.
Yeah. Especially in all these objective-based games.
Yeah.
Pancorania hasn't cover now been FAQ'd, so you no longer get the +1 armor save in combat. I read the FAQ and I read something actually that was completely different that said, yeah, you definitely still do get the +1 armor. Let's see here. New Truth Neo Maxim. Love seeing 2 of my 3 armies represented in one bat rep.
He's going to dance.
Excellent. But dwarves without artillery! Exclamation. It's kind of fun to play without artillery. The short and beardy part of me, so like Peter Jackson. Yeah, give a shout out to Peter Jackson in this bat rep. I don't think I'm going to hear back from him though.
Oh, come on. Jackson.
Is horrified by the lack of gunpowder on their side. Lots of tiny mistakes, by the way.
If he did garden gnome in your next movie, he got one.
It's true.
You just show him your Halloween
my Halloween costume from last year.
He was a garden
that picture's showing up. Lots of tiny mistakes, by the way, like Quarrelers getting rend at one point, but mostly small stuff. Thanks for the great content, guys. That actually wasn't an error at all. That was the Rune Lord's ability giving them the rend.
Is not just in combat or all attacks?
No, just on their weapons.
Cool. Cool.
Didn't see anything specifying anything other than just their attacks.
Cool.
Next, we have Slaves to Darkness versus Elves.
Elves? It's elves.
No, I'm choosing to say Elves.
Okay.
Age of Sigmar Battle Report, War of the Realms, episode 64. Oh, dude, I can't say your name.
Auschuvlung.
I'm going to call you Flug.
Flug.
Rules you got wrong at 3333 that one Dragon Blade did not keep coherency during pile-in. That or Canadian inch is different from a US one.
That big.
Yeah, coherency wasn't great for that unit.
My bad. I'll just keep dancing.
At 3834, Chaos Knights have 3 wounds apiece. Yeah, it would have been great if
they really?
Yeah, they do.
Oh! That would have been a much different game.
That would have been...
I'm taking the victory. You would have way more points.
I would have had way more points.
You had some more points. I think I beat you by a bunch.
Well, because you killed them. Because my knights died too quick.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that hurts.
Ah, well, read
that
the card.
Hurts a lot. It's true. I'm not going to go into a rant about the app right now.
Yeah, the app has been very frustrating lately. We think we got a way around it now, but for our I don't know if everybody's app's been the problem, but on all our devices here in the studio, the app wouldn't load for whatever reason.
Yeah, it just gets stuck
week
for
or
loading,
so.
and it sits there for 3 hours.
So we have to go back and pull the physical book, and then we got to try to find it. And it was just,
if we have the physical book.
We have most of them, but not all the stuff are in the physical books.
Asmodeis. Steve, around the 22 mark, you don't get the cover bonus on the turn you charged.
I didn't charge and get a cover bonus. What are you talking about? Oh, no. I never charged into cover. Which game was that?
The one we just played. It was Slaves to Darkness versus Aelfs.
At what point did they charge in the cover?
I think he...
What minute mark was
22-minute mark. And I think that was your... I can't remember if it was Silver Helms or the Dragon guys.
They ran into cover and then got charged.
Yeah.
I don't think I didn't charge. That's what I recall. I didn't charge any cover at all. Maybe my Reavers did, but it's turn, not battle round, so you don't get the cover the turn you charge, not the battle round you charge. So on Josh's turn, we got cover.
Yep. Disciple of Caliban. Is there any reason you guys are attacking with both melee weapons in combat? The Prince's sword and lance. First of all, okay, so sword and lance is actually under the one profile. There are 2 attacks, and it doesn't say.
No, not on that. Not on that particular one.
Yeah,
okay.
I checked this one.
No, look at the wrong one. Okay, there's a bunch of princes in there. Dragon princes, the prince on steed, but the one he's talking about I'll explain in a moment. So for the cavalry in the list, it's sword and lance, one profile. What I think he's talking about is the prince on the griffin who has a sword and a lance. And I attacked with both. But what most people I've noticed people who comment this haven't noticed, you have to read the description.
Yep.
Because right there in that paragraph, it'll tell you if a model has a star whatever sword or a lance.
Yep.
Or it'll say it has a sword and a lance. So you have to read the description if it's or and that model is an and. He has both those weapons.
There's a lot of those that, certain characters will have the option of 3 different weapons.
Yeah.
But then other ones, if you read, like, same with the Lord on Manticore.
Yeah.
He's got tons of different options that he could have been modeled.
But it'll say it may have the flail and a
shield.
Or flail and sword. You gotta look for the ands or the ors, because a lot of models, basically these are the models that were modeled that way. That particular model is not a multi-part kit. It comes with a sword and a lance exactly, and that's what it has on this thing. So it does have both, but not all models are like that, so you have to look on a model-by-model basis.
So yeah, I guess the answer to that one is you gotta make sure you read the description of the model of what it's armed with.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Paul the Firewood Salesman. I really like that name.
He's some firewood.
Rules you got wrong. Big thanks to everybody too that puts the rules you got wrong. You know how easy it makes it to pull comments out.
Yeah.
I do my best to give props to the community that helps with all these comments.
You guys actually make it a lot easier for us to do our jobs, and we get better because of it.
It's good for the community overall. You're doing the entire gaming community a service.
As much as I'll be here just dancing and swaying my hips and look like I don't care, I'm goofing off. I very much respect you guys do this. We asked for it in the first place, but respect you guys who do it for us and help us out a lot, because this really is. Even though I don't look like I'm taking it serious, or I'm always really sarcastic in these videos, this is a huge help, and I very much appreciate it.
From my understanding, since Josh, and this actually was a really good comment because I didn't realize. From my understanding, since Josh chose the Slaves to Darkness Allegiance as opposed to the Chaos Allegiance, you cannot roll on the Chaos Allegiance table. Only benefit from going with the Slaves to Darkness is that the Knights and the Marauder count as battle line. Totally 100% right on that. I did not realize that you had to pick between the two on that.
What?
Okay, so I went Slaves to Darkness Allegiance.
Yeah.
Because that's what allowed the Marauder Horsemen and the Knights to become battle line.
Yep. But aren't they all Chaos anyway?
But you have to pick one of the two.
What do you mean?
You only get one army allegiance. So since I picked Slaves to Darkness Allegiance, even though it's a Chaos army, it would technically fit under a Chaos Allegiance. I had to pick one of the two.
Oh.
So if I went Chaos, then technically I would have had no battle line. So
you got the extra attacks you never actually rolled for anyway? So you did it right?
No, it was there were, okay,
so you got an artifact.
The artifact and then the command ability.
Oh, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
That seems like a big one. Okay.
There's some debate going on back and forth on the internet about intention.
No, I don't believe it.
There's a funny line at the end of the part describing that.
I'll take a look at it. We'll see what we can come up with for a host rule here until we figure it out.
Next up, we have Rancid Platypus. Rules you got wrong, maybe. I noticed you didn't play with the mysterious terrain any particular reason. Realize it's more bookkeeping, but I think it adds more dimension to the game.
It could.
You've got it 100% right. There's way too much bookkeeping.
We usually forget to use the rules. Plus, every tree, every hill would need some.
Yeah, there's simply too much bookkeeping for right now. Not saying we're not going to do it down the road potentially, but we're busy enough trying to figure out what our stuff does and not make mistakes there. So it's for the sake of trying to put out better content. we could try to jam more things into it and make a ton more mistakes.
In short, we're just unprofessional professionals.
We're content producers. Can't remember what the full quote for that is, but somebody will post it. Last is Rob Shaw.
Rob Shaw.
Darkwood Shields. Units carrying Darkwood Shields have a save of 5 up rather than 6 up. Yeah, it would have been great if you remember that one too. That was the Marauder Horseman. So it would have been a 4 up in cover.
I may would have lost that game if you used all your rules or your stats.
True. But I technically didn't bring a legal army either, so
That's true. So I went default. That's it, guys. That's the rules you got wrong this week for Age of Sigmar. Keep posting the comments. Need them, love them, helps us a lot. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.